Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad you're here. So by popular demand, I'm going back to minis. So I have some inspirational ideas here that I got off Pinterest, and these are the larger versions. So I'm going to show you that first and then show you how I turn it into a mini. Using my favorite wooden dominoes from Dollar Tree. I can use these for so many different things for minis. I am going to take it and turn it into that sign that we saw at the beginning. So I had this kind of, I don't know, it looks like stars to me, lace. I just had a little bit left, and I thought that would be perfect for this project. I took one of those dominoes and I cut it in half. I'm actually going to be using it for two of the projects, but you can use popsicle sticks or craft sticks. Any size, depending on how small you want this, would work. So I cut it in half. I painted it white, and I really like the dominoes because of that rounded look. So I grabbed my apple barrel acrylic and just gave this one coat of white paint. It's amazing that the back of the domino doesn't suck that paint right up, but it really doesn't, and usually one coat will do the trick. I ended up painting both of the pieces since I did cut it in half, but had a crafting brain moment, and I really didn't need to paint that second piece. That's going to be for another project in this video, but you'll see later. So then I took the little lace and I just cut I guess they're flowers off of it. To me, they look like stars. And I painted those with some Waverly Truffle, one of my favorite paints, and set those aside to dry. I love trying to use what I have on hand to create these minis. Honestly, I haven't been shopping in a long time. I have so much in my craft stash. I need to utilize what I have on hand before I go buy more. So that's where I come up with these little ideas that might be a little bit out of the box to some, but it's because I'm using up what I have on hand instead of spending more money. So then I went my stash and I grabbed this, I cannot speak, buffalo check ribbon, some burlap, some more lacy ribbon, I guess. And I'm going to make the pieces that hang down, just like you saw in the picture. So one burlap, actually, I think made 3 pieces. The buffalo check, I just cut it down to size. I cut the wire off of the sides because I didn't want that. And I cut the wire off of my burlap as well. And then I just used each piece to kind of measure the length so that they were kind of almost the same size. I think I did have to do a little bit of trimming. But I'm just going to rotate the buffalo, the lace, and the burlap onto that little domino piece that I cut to mimic that first sign I showed you. Once you have all your fabric cut, then you can start gluing it to the back of the domino piece. I suggest just doing a little bit at a time, like each row. Don't try to glue them all down at once. I'm speaking from experience. It doesn't work. So just take your time, add a little hot glue, and put each of the fabrics onto your domino piece. Then I came back in after with just a small little craft stick to secure the back of this. I hot glued that over where I had glued the fabric. I don't think these would have came off, but just in case. Now I'm going to take some hot glue and I'm going to glue down those fabric stars to mimic that sign. And I just think this is so cute. It's so tiny and it looks just like the picture. So stinking cute. Then I did come back in, and with a little piece of twine, I made a little hanger for the sign, just by gluing it into the 2 pieces that I had on the back, or 1 piece on the back, and the original wooden domino.
I love you. I put your favorite song on just to wake you up. When I dance around, I can't help but feeling just loving
Project number 2, another little inspirational piece from Pinterest, super cute Americana 4th of July sign that we could turn into a little mini. So using the top or the other half of the domino from the first project, and right now I'm just seeing how many craft sticks would go across that domino piece, and it looks like 4. So I knew I could cut down 2 to make this work, and I just kind of measured how long I would want it, cut that, and then cut a little bit off the other piece because it wasn't exactly cutting them in half, and that seemed to work perfect.
Just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together?
Once I had all my pieces cut down to size, I grabbed some red, white, and blue paint because that's the colors of our flag in the United States. Now, I know not every subscriber that I have lives in the United States, and all of these projects could be done using your country colors. In the United States, we celebrate 4th of July, which is our Independence Day, and usually decorate with the colors of our flag, Americana decor. But let me know in the comments below if you have a similar holiday and how you celebrate it. I would love to hear. But right now I'm just painting the pops or craft sticks. 2 of them will be painted in white. 2 of them will be painted in red. And then the other half of that domino I'm painting in blue. One side of the domino, of course, has like the shiny domino on it, and you can't paint on that, and I don't even know why I tried. As you can see, when I painted that one piece blue, I ended up flipping it over to where I had originally painted it white and went back over it with the blue because the back of the domino works best, of course. And then I came back in with truffle, and to make this more rustic country, I just kind of dry brushed over them in the truffle to make it a deeper, richer, more rustic color, and that seemed to really give it the effect that I was going for. Once they were all dry, I lined them up how I wanted them, which is doing red and white, and then I took the top blue piece and just put some hot glue on the back of it and attached it right onto the craft sticks. And so easy. It's so little. It will be perfect for a 3-tiered tray to add that pop of color if you decorate for 4th of July. Now to do the stars, I just came in with a Sharpie and I just drew 3 stars on the blue. Stars are so easy to draw. And then I came in with that truffle and I just went over the stars that I had drawn on with the Sharpie. Project number 3 is also off of Pinterest. I saw this book that was so adorable and I wanted to make a little mini. So I had made this little stand, I guess, in a previous project just by using a Dollar Tree sign and some finials. And I thought that would be perfect to duplicate the look of the book just by adding some blue paint to the top. I also came around the sides and the edges and painted that blue as well so that that would look like it's all coinciding, cohesive piece. Then I came back in with the red and I drew lines going down from the blue. I want to show you like this new mat I got. It's a silicone mat. I absolutely love it. I'm not sponsored or anything. I just wanted to show you. I got it off of eBay and it's perfect. If you get paint on it, you can just take some Windex and get it right off. Or hot glue does not stick to silicone, so I thought this mat was just amazing for crafting. So I came back in and I drew some white lines and then I drew some red lines to make it look like the book in the picture. I did not measure, I just eyeballed it, and it doesn't have to be perfect, and just drew some lines on.
You could see yourself just sitting there on my chair.
Once I had the lines on, I came back in with that truffle and I went dry brushed all over the whole piece to give it more rustic country look. And I did not get the silicone mat off eBay. I got it off Amazon. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm just not thinking straight today. So yeah, that mat was off of Amazon. Then I came back in with this white rope that I have and I love from Walmart, and just cut it down to size to go where the bottom of the blue ends and the white and red stripes begin. So I cut it down to size and I just added hot glue and hot glued that down to my box.
Time goes slow, I fall into you. I fall into you. Hey, I wish I could show you more, 'cause baby you deserve some.
I had some of this berry wreath garland from Dollar Tree and I thought that would be great to mimic the picture, so I just cut a piece off of that, and it's wired, so I didn't even hot glue it to it. I just folded it around and tucked it in and just bent the wire so it would hold. Then I came back in and cut another piece off of it and did the same thing. I did not hot glue the wreath down. I just bent it around and the wire's great. It holds it in place. And I used some tape just to tape it in place in case I want to use this for another project or switch it up a little bit, then at least it's not hot glued down. So the tape held the wire in place. I don't think it was going to move, but just in case. And then once I was done with that, I came in and I added some white paint to the berries just to stay within that theme, because all of the berries were gold. And I'm just loving this piece. It's a great piece to put on a tiered tray and set something on top of. It's so cute. Okay, we're going to move on to project number 4, another inspiration from Pinterest. I thought this was so cute. And I had a little bitty windmill that I got from Dollar General. How cute is that? It's only $1 at Dollar General. And I thought we could paint the blades in the centerpiece with the red, white, and blue. Now, when I first started painting, I didn't count the blades. I thought I could go red, white, blue, but there was actually one extra and it threw me off. And I noticed, like, when I was almost done painting, then I started counting and I'm like, this isn't gonna work. So I came back in and I kind of went over the edges with the red, with the blue, just to kind of make it go kind of cohesively all the way around. It was funny. I really thought this would work at the beginning until I got started. Then I think like right here, I noticed that this was not gonna work the way I had planned. I have one extra. What do I do? And that's why you'll see me come back in with the red and the blue and kind of make this all cohesively go around in a circle.
More, 'cause baby you deserve
to stay within that rustic country that I've been doing with all of these little minis, I came back in with truffle and added truffle to what I had just painted. I also added truffle to the legs as well to make it look more rustic and old. I'm going to head on over to project number 4. I love this little flag. And back to dominoes. So we're going to use 3 of the wooden dominoes. And what's perfect is it fits perfectly. So we're going to paint 1 red, 1 white, 1 blue. Come back in with the truffle and really deepen these colors to make it more rustic country because they're pretty bright right now. And I wanted that rustic look. So I'll flip the dominoes over, paint them your country's colors, and then come back in with truffle and really get these more rustic. As you can see, I just used like a paper towel and wiped off some of the paint. It dries so quick on these dominoes. I came back in with the truffle and really deepened the colors on each one, except for the white. The white one I just dry brushed over because I didn't want it being brown. I just wanted that country effect. As I said earlier, they fit perfect together. So I lined them up and I used some craft sticks to attach these all together just by hot gluing some craft sticks to the back of them. And I don't know where I'm going now. I'm tired, y'all. I said that earlier, but man, I don't know if it's just because we had such a crazy hectic week and I'm just tired. Maybe I should have waited to do my voiceover because I'm losing my train of thought. But using craft sticks, I secured all 3 of these pieces together. Then I came back in with a white chalk pen and I just drew stars. And stars are just so easy to make. And I put a whole bunch of stars on the blue part. Number 5 is a mini garland. I saw this one on Pinterest, of course, and I had to duplicate this as a mini. So I grabbed my stockpile of beads that I've accumulated from thrift stores and Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby and picked out what beads I thought would go perfect. So I grabbed some red, of course, some white, and then some neutral. And then I just used the string that you could get from Dollar Tree and my little silicone tool that you can get in the makeup section at Dollar Tree. I added a little hot glue to the end of the string and then just rolled it around in my fingers just so it would go through the beads better, easier. And so, I don't know. It doesn't matter, you guys, if you buy your beads from Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby. You're always going to come across that one bead that has an opening in front and not in the back. And you're always going to need to use some kind of tool to open it up and have it go all the way through. So I just started stringing it. I did not cut my string. I kept it on the roll because you never know how much you're going to need and you don't want to cut it too short. So leave it on the roll and start stringing your beads. It's so cute. This is probably out of all 5 my favorite. it just because I love mini garland, and I thought this turned out so cute. It's probably the project that gave me the most hassle, but it was worth it in the end. So once I had all my beads on the string, I grabbed my burlap ribbon and my red buffalo check ribbon and just cut a piece off of each. Then I cut, okay, see, I told y'all I'm tired. The burlap ribbon, I saw that I could actually cut my burlap in half, and that would still be the same size as a buffalo check ribbon, so I actually could use just one burlap piece but two buffalo, if that makes any sense. You'll see right here it fits perfect. You can just cut it in half. Then I cut it into small squares. Once I had one square cut, I used that square as a template to cut the other squares.
Forever, forever, forever. I watch you as you sleep. You don't know I'm looking.
Once I had all my little squares, then I took the buffalo check and cut those into triangles. And yes, this little mini garland was very time consuming. It was worth it. It was time consuming though. So once I had that, this is where I messed up. I used my little silicone tool because hot glue won't stick to that silicone. I put my burlap square, and then I put a little dab of hot glue, and I put my triangle. What I should have done was also cut little pieces of the string and put it behind, on top of the burlap, but behind the triangle to make hangers. I did not. I don't know how I thought I was going to attach this. So what I had to end up doing was cut more burlap squares, add my string in between the two burlap squares so that I could have a little hanger for these. And you won't have to do that if you just add your hanger behind the triangle. I hope that makes sense. You'll see what I mean soon.
Forever, I'm loving this moment. Can we stay forever? I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment.
Once you have a little hanger on each piece, you can use that to tie it onto your garland and try to eyeball it and have them hanging kind of the same length. I know that's hard to do. I just wrapped it, tied it into a knot, and just let them hang in between each of the beads.
Forever, I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on. I put my feet up, and we just sing along.
I thought I could take a bead, hang the little piece of burlap, and then hot glue those beads together, but that was not going to work. You would end up with such an odd shaped garland. So here you see me doing that, but I ended up pulling them apart, and I only did, thank goodness, just a few of them before I realized that that was not going to work. So then I just tied all of those little garland pieces. Really no rhyme or reason. I think I started off doing like in between each bead, then I went in between every couple bead because it just looked too much to me, but you do it any way you would like.
Sleep, you don't know I'm looking. With you everything's complete. put your favorite song on just to wake you up. When I dance around, I can't help but feeling I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here?
Once they were all on, then I cut my string and I tied little bows on each end to secure the beads from falling off. And you have the cutest little Americana garland ever. So stinking cute. Here it is.
Forever, forever. I'm loving this moment.
I have it hanging off of my little wooden coffee cup holder. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. But I also put it on my 3-tiered tray, and that is super cute as well. So I'm going to show you some pictures of how I use these items to decorate my tiered tray. I also have items on this tray from previous projects from last year. So if you want to check those out, you can just go to my playlist for 4th of July, and those are all in there. I had made this box with this little hanger in a previous project, and my little sign hung perfectly from there. I thought that was super cute. And I just put all these pieces together and make a little Americana 4th of July tiered tray. I absolutely love this. It's so easy, except for the garland. The garland takes a little time, but it's worth it. So let's just sit back and I'll take you through how I decorated my tiered tray. If you don't decorate a tiered tray, these are perfect on a shelf as well. So I'm going to show you how I took these pieces to work as well to decorate my shelves at work, and so cute. They don't have to just be used for a tiered tray. So next time on Kelly's Creations, I am going to be doing nautical again. My girlfriend at work wants a nautical wreath for her door, so I'm going to be using some nautical rope, this square wreath form that I found, and a canvas, because we're going to incorporate an acrylic pour into this as well. Look at that acrylic pour. Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. Then we're gonna jazz up that wreath form with some rope, and you gotta come back Sunday to see what happens. I love y'all. Have a blessed and wonderful day, and I'll see y'all next Sunday. Bye y'all.